to heal. But how do we feel our feelings so we can heal them? In this video, I will teach you the action steps and the process that you need to take in order to access, understand, heal, and release your feelings that are keeping you stuck and miserable. Learning how to feel your feelings is a lifelong skill that will help you deal with life's big traumas and little traumas, the heartaches that come up, without having to repress those feelings and without having to store them in your body. So let's get into it. When a child grows up in an emotionally invalidating environment that is cold, hostile, critical, punishing, dismissive, this makes the child feel less than. This makes them feel unsafe, unloved, not accepted, does not belong. And these feelings of not feeling good enough, not being cared for, not wanted, all of that leads to feelings of shame. Shame stays with the child as they grow up to be an adult. Along with shame, children from dysfunctional homes often carry anger, fear, guilt into their adulthood. And these stored painful feelings get triggered time and again and lead to unwanted consequences. So our job becomes to release these feelings in order to release the stored trauma from our body. So the first step to feel your feelings is to give yourself permission to feel. Tell your inner family that it is okay to feel, that you are allowed to feel, that it is safe to feel now. As we grow up in dysfunctional families, we learn not to talk, not to ask questions, not to express our true feelings. We don't know who to trust. We live in denial and we suppress our feelings. So, the first step is to give yourself permission to feel those feelings. Tell your inner family that you are an adult now, that you have tools and support, that you will be able to handle all that comes up. And then the second step is to understand and be able to name your feelings. We all sit in the muck of these feelings, but and we all know what the basic four feelings are, right? Sad, mad, glad, scared. But when we get into reviewing our feelings, when we look at the feelings wheel and we review our feelings, we understand that my feelings are not just those four things. My feelings are all of this. So, in order to feel your feelings, understand them, release them, you have to be able to name your feelings. So, for example, if you're feeling insecure or worried or frightened, these are all fear. This is all fear. So, if we're just sitting with the nervousness and not really understanding what that nervousness is trying to tell us, what is the feeling that I need to get to so I can take care of it? Feeling worried, overwhelmed, all that is fear. Feeling shocked, disillusioned, astonished, all that can be fear. Confused, you can be surprised, all these different feelings. Curious, joyful, abandoned, victimized, lonely, sad. So all this is depression. So understand your feelings, be able to be able to express them, so you don't have to sit in the chaos and then you don't numb them. So understand that, and then practice your feelings by saying, I feel this. I feel overwhelmed or resentful or nervous or playful or excited when this happens. I feel. So get into the details of your feeling, expand your vocabulary, learn to name your feelings and use them as and honor them, accept them. When you do this, you feel much lighter and feelings seem more manageable. The third step is to distinguish your feeling from a judgment. Is it really a feeling that you need to heal, or is it a thought or your inner critic giving you a judgment? If you say, I feel sad, that's a feeling, that's an emotion, that's something we can work with, right? But when you say, I feel ignored by you, I feel rejected by you. So these are not feelings. Rejection is making you feel a certain way. This is just a conclusion, a judgment, a thought and a statement. I feel like you don't like me. I feel like they don't accept me. So even though there's the word feeling, it's not a feeling. It's your inner critic. It's your thought. It's a judgment. It's a conclusion. So when you notice that your I feel is not followed by a feeling, you understand it's a judgment. And now the work is to go one step deeper from the feeling into the judgment or the conclusion or the statement that's coming up. Once you've separated the two, we stay with the feelings because we're healing our feeling. Once you've separated the two, then the fourth step is to translate that judgment into the feeling. Go deep into that judgment and find out what is making you feel that way. So, for example, you say, I feel like a failure. Is this a feeling? Or could you be feeling discouraged or hopeless or sad and scared? If when you say I feel interrupted, do you feel interrupted or do you feel angry, resentful, not respected, right? Hurt. I feel like you don't listen to me. Is that a judgment or is that a feeling? You might be feeling when someone doesn't listen to you, you might be feeling hurt, shame, scared, sad, angry. And those feelings can be taken care of. But the conclusion and the judgment and the statement that your inner critic has put out, that is what we walk away from. And that's what we deal in the inner critic or the ego module. But right now we're focusing on figuring out what is the feeling behind the judgment. When they ghosted me, I felt discarded. I felt hurt. What are you feeling? You felt discarded, but what is the feeling that I need to take care of? I need to find the feeling separate from the judgment, which is hurt, sadness, shame, anger. I felt manipulated or used. What is the feeling that's coming up? Powerlessness, frustration, scared, anger. I felt abandoned, right? They left me. I feel like, so what is the feeling? The feeling is feeling lonely, left behind, scared, sad. So that was our fourth step, to separate the judgments from the feeling. Pay attention to the words that you are using to express your feelings, because when words are expressing something somebody did to me, that's not a feeling, that's you're describing what happened. So go deeper to do the work past the conclusions and the judgments to find the feelings that are coming up when someone is rejecting you, abandoning you, blaming you, pressuring you, because it's the feelings that get stuck. It's the feelings that we need to resolve and we need to release. The fifth step, which is so important in the next step, is the stuck energy of trauma that we're trying to release is stuck in our body. So very important to do the body work of releasing that feeling from wherever it's stuck in your body. So to recall, to find out where a certain feeling is stuck in your body, if someone ignores you, recall a time when you were ignored in the past. Tune into your body and notice where do you feel that rejection in your body, and just feel it more deeply. Breathe into that feeling. Is it in your stomach, in the pit of your stomach? Is it in your heart? Is your heart contracting? Where is that feeling? So ponder, go back to that memory and go back and feel it in your body, and then sit with it and love it and move with it, right? You can shimmy or dance or yoga, or you can walk, or you can just hold that feeling. You can swim, you can bathe, you can be in the shower feeling that feeling. But very important to take your feeling, find it in your body, and then breathe and love that part of your body that is holding that feeling. Love the feeling and love the part of the body that you witness holding your pain. Give that pain compassion, give it love, give it attention, and step away from the story when you're working with the feelings. Only focus on the painful feeling that is present. Emotional pain needs and it deserves to be acknowledged, not solved, We don't feel, if we don't feel our emotions as they happen, they will keep coming back, and the lessons will keep appearing, so we can keep feeling until we're able to release and resolve. Once you understand how to separate, how to identify your feeling, separate that feeling from the judgment, then find the feeling in your body and tap it or love it, hold it, right? Then the next step is to find the source of that feeling. What is making you feel so bad? Yeah, somebody ghosted you, and you are feeling now that you've taken off the judgment of them ghosting you, them discarding you, now you're sitting with the sadness and the pain and the manipulation that you went through, and you bought their lies. So locate the source of that emotional pain. What is causing this feeling? The feeling was initiated by them discarding you, but now we're in pain because our emotional needs of love, belonging, someone checking on me, someone saying hi, all those feelings of needing, wanted, belong, accepted, love, whatever that person or that substance was fulfilling, that need is not being fulfilled. That is why you are in pain. The pain from feeling those feelings comes from the needs that are behind those feelings. So your job becomes to understand the needs that are unfulfilled, unmet behind the painful feeling. When we are in pain, our emotional needs are not being met. That is why we are in emotional pain, because our emotional needs are not being met. If you take away one thing from this video, let it be this: that when I'm in emotional pain, there is an emotional need in me which I may or may not be aware of, but that need is not being met. This is why I am in emotional pain. So when we're usually in pain, our emotional needs are not being met. Others can trigger these unmet needs of the past or present. And it's deeply painful. We feel reactive, there are consequences, and then we wonder why I'm hurting so deeply. It's not because that person left you or that job rejected you, or it's also because of the unmet need behind that. So now our work becomes to identify what is the need behind this painful situation. So rather than attributing the cause and blaming other people, we understand our needs, we recognize them, we prioritize meeting our needs, right? So everyone has needs, and sometimes they're met and sometimes they're not. And when they're not met, we have emotional pain. Who's responsible for resolving emotional pain? We are. So we resolve our emotional pain by fulfilling the needs that are causing that emotional pain. So for example, if you were rejected by somebody, right? So anybody, job, romantic partner, family. So the situation is that you got rejected, but you felt, what was the feeling? The feeling was you felt hurt, scared, angry. But what do you need? That's the answer. The need, the fulfilling of the need in that immediate moment. That's the answer. The answer is not to try to control the other person, try to change the situation. The answer is to meet your need of belonging, inclusion, being loved, being wanted, a connection, acknowledgement. So find the need and then fulfill that by giving yourself that love, that acknowledgement, that validation. By understanding, I know you are hurting. I know this is painful. You've been through a lot. I see your pain. I feel your pain. Talk to the pain. Talk to the parts of you, your inner child that is carrying that pain. For example, when you were left behind, the situation was somebody left you behind, they didn't include you, they didn't invite you, etc. But what did you feel? You are crying, you are lonely, you are hurt, sad, angry, frightened. So sit with that feeling, acknowledge and love that feeling. But the work is, what is the need behind that feeling? The need is for connection, caring, trust, validation, belonging. So have that need met at another place, with other friends, with other family members, with yourself. You can meet the needs from many different places, and it's up to you to decide how you're going to meet that need. But once you meet that need, for example, somebody judged you, insulted you, disrespected you, right? Whatever the situation could be, the friend rejected you or said something rude, or you're never available, you're not this. It doesn't matter. What you felt matters. What you felt was scared, hurt, angry, rejected, right? So now what is the need that's not being met, that's causing this pain? To be seen, to be considered, to be heard, to be, right? You want to matter, you want to be counted, you want to belong. And that's an absolutely okay, valid, good need, a normal human need to have. So when you are rejected, abandoned, judged, dismissed, betrayed, blamed, find the need. Find, once you find your feeling that I'm hurting, find what is the need behind it and fulfill that need in order to ease that emotional pain. Right? Everybody has needs. It's our job to identify whether we require what we require to fulfill that need in a healthy, safe manner. Codependency is when we neglect, avoid, we don't even know our needs. And then we wait for other people to fulfill those needs. We expect other people to know your needs, to meet your needs, so the emotional pain goes away. But nobody will come to soothe your emotional pain. You know what your emotional pain is. Then you find out what needs are not being met. Yes, you can communicate your needs. And that's the next step, to identify the trauma response that you are in, the consequences of your action, and the coping skills you have been using to manage your feelings. And then, in a healthy manner, meet those needs. Right? So the seventh step is to understand your need and your compulsions behind your unhealthy behavior. So for example, if you were procrastinating, if you're a perfectionist, right? That's codependency, that's fawn response. So if you're engaging in unhealthy behaviors that are stopping you from feeling your feelings and getting your need met, you're just engaging in either addiction that numbs your pain and your needs, or you are distracting by focusing on other people, distracting away, looking away from your needs, looking away from your emotional pain, so you don't have to meet your needs, you're just focusing on other people. So perfectionism, procrastination, rescuing other people, these are some ways, and addictions, these are some ways we look away from our emotional pain and our needs. So then your job becomes to understand, what is my dysfunctional coping trauma response? What is, do I fawn, people please, procrastinate? Do I hide? Do I isolate? Do I engage in addictions of people, places, and things, or substances? Or what is your coping strategy? If it's unhealthy, and you're not meeting your need, if you're feeling bad, you're not meeting your needs, you're numbing your needs and emotional pain with focusing on other people and substances, then your job now becomes to understand how this coping mechanism is helping me, even though it's dysfunctional. How is this coping? What pain is it resolving? Then what needs is this coping mechanism meeting? If I'm focusing on another, people pleasing, procrastinating, addiction, what need is that behavior meeting? Am I doing this to, maybe, am I people pleasing to avoid criticism, punishment, to belong? So then you identify that the need behind my people pleasing is to be accepted, to belong, a need of safety, a need of um, and then you develop a new strategy to fulfill that need, right? So first you understand, this is my need, Okay, so this is my feeling. I'm feeling bad. This is my emotional pain. What is the need behind it that needs to be fulfilled? And in the past, how have I met this need? Have I used healthy coping or unhealthy coping mechanism? If I'm using unhealthy coping mechanism to feel my feelings or avoid my feelings, then I look at what is that unhealthy coping mechanism fulfilling. Can I fulfill those needs in a healthy manner? Is it saving, is it numbing my feelings so I don't have to feel them? I don't have to do the work? Then your need is to do the work, feel your feelings, meet your needs, and let slowly you will be able to let go of your patterns of dysfunctional habits. You will be able to let go of dysfunctional patterns, habits, behaviors, substances, other people, when you consistently focus on yourself and meeting your needs, no matter if somebody is available to meet your needs or not. You are responsible to meet your needs, to ease your emotional pain, to undo the damaging coping mechanisms. And the way to stop addiction, the way to stop numbing is to focus on yourself, to fulfill your own needs, to give yourself love, and stop criticizing, punishing yourself. So I hope in this video it is clear how to fully feel your feelings. You feel them in your body, you feel them in your emotions, you separate them from your inner critic and your judgments, and you feel them in their own true essence. Feeling is not bad or good, it just is. Feeling is a messenger. It will tell you what needs need to be met. And now it becomes the job of your wise, loving inner parent to meet those needs so the emotional pain can go away, so the dysfunctional coping mechanisms can go away. Learning how to feel your feelings is a lifelong process that will help you deal with life's traumas as they come without having to store them in your mind, body, and soul. So, just to repeat really quickly, what are the steps to feel your feelings? Number one, know your feelings. Give yourself permission to feel those feelings fully without numbing, without distraction, without dumping on others. Number two, name your feelings in detail, understand your feelings in detail so you can name them and then find out where is this fear, is this sadness, what is my need, what is my feeling. Then the third step is to separate the judgment from the feeling. So the inner critic has judgment. You step away from that and you just focus on the feeling. And I told you how to separate the feeling and the judgment. Once you have the feeling, you go farther down. The next step is to feel that feeling in your body, which was the fifth step. Then the sixth step is to find the need behind that feeling. Find the unfulfilled, unmet need that is causing the pain and giving you that painful feeling and emotional pain. So once you find the feeling, you separate it from the judgment, you understand, you feel it in your body, you soothe it in your body, you you find the need behind that feeling and you meet that need. Then you look at the past coping mechanisms. If they're healthy, then you practice them more. If they're unhealthy, you understand what need was this unhealthy coping mechanism meeting. And if you focus on meeting your needs consistently on a healthy in a healthy manner, the dysfunctional will fall off. So that was the seventh step, to separate the unhealthy and the healthy coping mechanisms, and then understand the need that the unhealthy coping mechanism is fulfilling and fulfill it in a healthy manner. So ultimately, all this work is for you to do. I'm here to guide you, to show you the way and tell you the steps. And now let's get into groups and do this work together. Let's pick out an example that we will use to feel our feelings, understand our feelings, and let's apply it. I hope this video will help you in understanding how to feel your feelings.